Well, what do we have here? It's Anthony Davis versus LeBron James. So, hey, check this out. We got a couple college basketball cities here, even though it's Raleigh, okay. But Kentucky and Carolina going at it. Kentucky's pretty far back in the Eastern Conference, but, Carolina is hanging in the mix here. They did acquire Carmelo Anthony at the trade deadline. Kentucky's still a pretty young team, so they're working some things out. They stayed put at that deadline. I just couldn't find a deal that really worked for them. They're pretty set. I think their starting five is set. They got a couple bench pieces. Just give it a couple of years for the Colliers. But this game is big for the Fly Guys because they are hanging in the mix in the playoffs in that crowded Eastern Conference. And LeBron is looking good early. 22-17 and even more. More LeBron stuff going on here. And a steal. So Kentucky's having a hard time of it here, and that's going to be Cole Anthony with the layup. 28-18. Leonard's going to miss, and Carmelo gets the rebound to Anthony, to James. LeBron trying to find some space. He's got Carmelo, and there it is, folks. There it is. We all know that combination needs to happen at some point, but it never will. But it should happen at some point, which is why Fantasyland is fun over here. Okay, 51-38. Anthony Davis trying his best going up against DeAndre Jordan. So they're definitely trying to stay in this game. But DeAndre Jordan's going to get a rebound. Ball's popped up in the air right before the half. Anthony Davis seems content, which is weird to me because, hey, you're down by 14 points. I mean, you're not playing very good defensively. And you're turning the ball over. Luke Kennard goes to LeBron, and he's throwing it down with authority. And again, another miss. Rebound by the newly acquired Mike Scott. Goes to LeBron. I think I've seen this movie before, guys. Another slam dunk. He's up to 20 points on the day. Here's Ingram trying to keep his guys in it. About 4.5 minutes left. Garland cutting to the lane. Foul on DeAndre Jordan. So they're coming back a little bit. 13 points, I don't know. But LeBron is going to get the and one. So, that might just do it right there. Another LeBron two-pointer. And their final score is 110-82. So Carolina turning it on there in the fourth quarter and really putting Kentucky away. So it just was not a very good effort by the Colliers because, LeBron just took it to him. He had 30 points in this contest. Carmelo with 13 off the bench. So he's their sixth man right now. And look at DeAndre Jordan. 2 points with 15 boards. So DeAndre Jordan was looking pretty good there. And then Anthony Davis had 20 points. Ingram chipped in with 16. Shamet, not a very good game there. So it was kind of a tough day for Kentucky. Now let's check this one out. It's the Battle of the Gradient Pants. Okay. Vancouver versus Miami. Got the Night Owls coming in here at 28-24. Vancouver slipping to 500. Vancouver's really been streaky this year. They were one of the top teams at the beginning of the year. They lost. I think they had a 7-game losing streak when Aldridge went down. Then they moved up a couple weeks ago in the West. Now they're back down to 500. They're still in contention for the 8th or 7th seed. So, the Western Conference crowded. Eastern Conference obviously crowded more. Miami going to need this win as well. So there are a lot of playoff stakes here on the line here. Tatum gets it in for 2. And here's Lillard off the glass. So a lot of action inside today. Ingles hits that one. Tie ball game right here. Lillard going to miss 30-30 here as we're in the second. Dion Waiters. Can he find Jeremy Lin? Got it. Lin kind of hurt him defensively on that last possession, but he will score. 32-30. Got a 3-ball here. 49-43. Waiters still finding some guys inside. That's going to be Vooch, who puts it in. 51-45. Kaminsky is trying against Ilyasova. He's the new guy right there. And Manu Ginobili goes to the lane. The other guy that was acquired in the Robertson and Beasley trade. So Vancouver was trying to open up their offense a little bit more, get a slicer and dicer like Ginobili and a 3-point power forward like Ilyasova, and so far you got to say it's working out. 53-47. So tough day for the Night Owls at home You don't want to be going into the half at home. Pretty evenly matched, though. I mean, you look at the numbers, they're virtually identical, except for field goal percentage. So Vortex getting a little bit luckier just in shooting. Bridges going to get the putback in there. So 55-47, 73-62 here, as Vancouver's going to score yet again. That's going to be a Lillard, 77-62. Waiters flipping it in. Still down by a considerable amount here. 11-point game. Tatum with the miss. LaMarcus Aldridge just going to pick that one up, take it down the court here. Joe Ingles again inside. Colliers Stein throwing it down. 87-74. Got Tatum, who's going to chuck up a three, and he will miss that one. And again, working their way down the court. Ingles, boom, the Australian. The Aussie hitting the three there, 92-80. Lillard making it look easy. Foul is going to be on Kaminsky. And that should just about do it. 99-84. This one is over. The Vortex go across the North American continent, all the way down to Miami, to pick up a much-needed W. So we'll look at the numbers here. Rubio actually led with 17 points. And I thought Dion Waiters played pretty well. Had a couple highlights in there. They really spread the love around as well. And then Lillard led with 32 points. So how about that? It was a pretty good day overall for the Vortex. Colliers Stein, 20 minutes, 6 points. I see you in there. Had a couple highlights. Now, the New York City Slickers are going to go at Baltimore. Baltimore Cannons. Cannons, another team that's like Kentucky, near the bottom of the Eastern Conference, pretty much out of contention. But, I mean, unless they rip off some kind of 8-game winning streak or something. But, I think they're in a fine spot. You know, like we were talking about, every team in this XBA, even the losing teams, next year, with a little more luck, kind of reconfigure the roster a little bit. No reason that they can't do better. So, Baltimore fans, don't get discouraged. I think the Cannons could be fine next year in terms of getting a playoff seed. So, I mean, you got shooters like Klay Thompson, and Horford's a big-time player, obviously. Young guys like LeVert, Hollis Jefferson, Ty Jerome, James Wiseman. So, Baltimore, you don't want to sleep on them next season. But the City Slickers are the definition of well-rounded. Their starting five is very, similar in their aptitude. They're very, B- to B+ range. Almost their entire starting five is like that. Tony Parker, the newly acquired one, putting that one in. Driving to the lane, that was Bledsoe. So 31-25, kind of back and forth game. But the Cannons are actually in control of this one. Klay Thompson going inside a couple times. You don't see that all the time. Obviously, he likes to shoot from the outside. City Slickers aren't going to hit that one before the half. So it's 35-25. Got a nice crowd there in Baltimore today. 31% from the field, so not great offensively on either end. But Baltimore playing well enough relative to the City Slickers. So a 7-point game right here. Here's Harrison Barnes going inside to Looney. And Looney's going to throw it down. Foul on Horford. So you got it within single digits. Barnes inside to Klay. And Klay's going to beat Gary Harris there inside. Klay, finally, we're going to see him spot up from outside and drain that one. So it's 51-41 right here. Another big three ball there from McDermott. So 54-41. George Hill from outside, keeping the City Slickers in it. But again, their offense has just not been there today. As you see, LeVert knocking it down from long range. And then Hollis Jefferson fighting up against Siakam. And Siakam's going to foul out. So it's just that kind of day. Only 8 points for the power forward. And off the glass, it's Derrick Rose. Gets the end one. Baltimore's going to get the upset win on the road. City Slickers going down here today. So a tough one for New York. They're another streaky team. They're like Vancouver. They're up, and then they're down, then they're up, then they're down. So much volatility in the Eastern Conference. We see some numbers here. I mean, the guys they acquired, they had Brokoff. Crab was out there for maybe some more three-pointers. But, it just wasn't a good effort overall for New York. And now we got this one here at the Knights Court. I saw it looked like Conley was talking some trash there against Karl Anthony Towns. But we'll look at the starting five here. Spencer Dinwiddie finally back, and that's really, I think, what is causing Pittsburgh to surge. This team just went on a a very impressive winning streak, and they have vaulted their way into the top handful of teams in the Eastern Conference. They went from playoff bubble to, they went on the outside looking in to, everybody in the Eastern Conference is on the playoff bubble. So we'll see at the end of this video the updated Eastern Conference standings. But, Bridges hitting from three, so the offense is getting hot right there. And then you got Green going from downtown. Here's Dinwiddie inside. Gets it. It's 40-26. Brogdon from deep range there. 45-31 here. So Tobias Harris trying to keep the Neon in this one. Brogdon. We're still in the first half, guys. This is a high-scoring first half for Pittsburgh. 48-23. The Paladins are taking it to the Neon here. 47% from the field. 10 points for Brogdon at the half. How about Bull? Even he is getting in on the action. We'll look at some Eastern Conference standings there. So the Neon are actually charging up from when we last saw them. So, I don't even want to call them the 1 seed in the East yet because, they're 2 games away virtually from missing the playoffs. So there's so much basketball left to shake out, and Zubac is going to throw that one down with some authority. Deep 3 there. So obviously from Redick, obviously these teams are just fighting and clawing their way for playoff positioning, and that is what we wanted when the XBA started. So 72-68, and Towns hits it from deep. Redick in the corner misses. So you had some teams trading some clutch major shots, but New York going to come up empty-handed on that possession. And then again, the behind the back foul. That's when you've been really beaten. So just hacking somebody. I don't know if that's the smartest move. You got a deep shot there, going to roll out. Redick going to get it to Conley, and Conley gets it. So New York is still in this thing. Down by 5, they're going to pick up a rebound. So they played defense, and it actually worked out. And Conley again to the lane. The captain trying to will his team, boys. This is a 3-point game here. 18 seconds. And Towns is going to go to the line after getting manhandled right there by JaVale McGee. Towns makes the first. So now the Neon are behind the 8 ball here. Going to have to finish this one strong if they're going to come back. Going to have to pick up a possession somewhere. Pick up some points. Call them timeout. So they're going to go to the inbound here. 84-79. Going to Redick. It was challenged right there. And it will not go. So the foul is going to be made. And 86-79 for the Pittsburgh Paladins at home on the gray. I guess that's what they're calling their court these days, guys. It's the gray. They're going to continue to stay really hot. This team is just on fire. Absolutely on fire. See some numbers there. Reddish only picking up 10 minutes today. Newly acquired Rodney Hood, 1 of 6 from the field. So I don't know if Hood is the reason that they've gone on this run. I think it's just health, and a guy like Dinwiddie probably coming back, playing well. I saw Caruso and Zach Collins come in. So this is a deep bench for the Neon. So you saw in the standings, they're moving up. We'll see by the end of the episode if they sustain that momentum. And then here we got the Detroit Power going on the road into the sound room. Let's look at the latest standings. A half game separates Nashville and the 8 seed. Jacksonville has dropped to the 8 seed. But again, I don't really know how much that matters at this point. These teams are going to go up. They're going to go down. They're going to go hot streaks, cold streaks as we enter the home stretch. And like I said, we'll have one episode after this before the playoffs finally get underway. So that'll be a lot of fun. See Durant in the corner, opening things up with a miss. Rebound's going to go to Thaddeus Young. Lowry taking it out to Josh Jackson off the glass and in. So Power off to a good start. Again, steal. Beal takes it from Dragic, and then Beal throwing it down. Looking pretty flashy right there. 4-0. Durant trying to get the tempo on the board, and he will. 18-18 here. We'll see Valentine going inside to Livingston. Good play by Livingston. You got Kid Gilchrist. Rebound there from Balika. I think it's Balika. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But then a little miscommunication there by Austin Rivers. And then Livingston is going inside to the house. Missed by Valentine. Rebound by the newly acquired Aaron Baines. So Baines is helping them out with their interior presence, and then a 3-ball from the also newly acquired Kent Bazemore. So you had a couple supernovas in the lineup for Detroit, and they're making it count. The new digs fighting for the playoffs. SoCal, like we talked about, a little bit out of it. Detroit right in the thick of things. So 43-38 on the road. This might be an upset here. A minor upset if Detroit can go on the road. Road games in the NBA, it's always tough. It's tough in professional sports no matter where you go. But Cousins gets that one to go. 58-53. Cousins again kicking it to Beal from 3. And he puts it in. 67-55. Another miss for the tempo. So they're trying, but it's just really not going. And then Bazemore, that's a funky looking dribble move. But he gets it. And it's 86-73 here. Beal with the floater. Gonna touch the rim and have it go in here. Durant from, they're gonna give him 2. It's a long 2 right there. He definitely wants 3. Valanciunas with the miss, 88-77. So they're keeping within striking distance, but a minute and a half is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Nashville, and yeah, Lowry gets the M1. So 93-85 is your final score. Good road win for Detroit. Crucial road win. So all these games between these playoff contenders are crucial. So we'll look at the numbers here. Dragic with 12. Durant's 4 of 12. So Durant, they've been trying to feed the offense through Kevin Durant, but just not very good today. And then, Beal and Lowry doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But Bazemore today was crucial coming off the bench. So now let's go up north to the Mayflower Center, the surging Atlanta Olympians. This is crazy. They were left for dead, virtually in last place in the Eastern Conference with Philly and Washington. Then they went on an 8-game winning streak to get right back into the playoff mix and actually contending for first place, if you can believe it. So I don't know if they're going to get it, but like we talked about, one game separates the 10 seed from the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference at this stage. Well, we did advance a little bit ahead between this game and the last game we saw. So a little bit of movement going on there. Atlanta still 4 games over 500, trying to complete this playoff push, though, and that's really what matters. You just got to get in. It's the only thing that matters. Boston also hanging around in there. And Wendell Carter's been a big part of the surge by the Olympians. Chris Paul, kind of an off-kilter 2-pointer with the miss here, and John Wall's going to take it up, try to find some space. Draymond made a play on it, but it wasn't quite good enough. And Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen's been big for the Pilgrims this year. He's played very well for them. And then you got guys like Beasley, kind of a new piece. So Atlanta actually lost pieces. They added Joseph, the point guard, as we see right there, and Jacob Evans. And they lost veteran depth, and somehow they got way better. So, let that be a lesson to you guys. So selling doesn't always mean giving up. So how about this with Chris Paul? Big 3-pointer there. 47-39. Wall's just going to take this up and chuck it, and obviously no good there. Not going to happen. 47-39 for the Olympians. They got to be feeling pretty good on the road right now. 52% from the field. Wall with 11 points. 22 rebounds, so they're schooling Boston on the glass as well. And then Wall gets it and 1 on Chris Paul, and Wall is starting to feel it, although he will miss, so it's not going to count. Draymond's taking it up court to Grayson Allen. Are they going to give him a 3-ball? No, 2. 51-43. Chris Paul gets his opportunity for an and 1 here, and he's flexing the muscles there. He's at 11 points. Jimmy Butler with 10, though, so I'm just trying to find some Jimmy Butler highlights. Haven't seen him yet. The young guy here, Samuel Williamson, will get the layup. 58-57. So the Pilgrims now in charge with the lead. And there's Joseph from deep range. They're going to give him the 3-pointer there. 62-59 right now. DeLon Wright gets a screen, but he's not going to take it. Instead, he's going to force the shot for 3 and get it to go. So right as the third quarter expires, we got a 3-ball from DeLon Wright. Rebounded there by Wright again. So Wright's coming up big here in the second half. Late in this game, John Wall struggling from the 3-point range, and Allen kind of working his way inside. Will find enough room to get that one to go. It's 81-71. So Jimmy Butler Goes to Miritich for 3. No dice. So 5 minutes and change left here, and the Pilgrims have opened up a double-digit lead on Atlanta. So this is going to be a tough one for Atlanta to drop after they were in total control here through 2.5 quarters. Chris Paul fighting his way through, just forcing it, and it goes in. Jared Allen gets a rebound. So Boston really taking control here, and Allen from the free throw line will get that one to go. Atlanta still fighting, hanging in there. Jimmy Butler, the All-Star, saw him in the previous episode, have himself a game in that All-Star contest. 89-85 right now with 1.5 minutes. So 4 points is the difference, and Wright goes to Allen with a miss, and Butler is going to fight and get that rebound. He's going to corral it. Let's see if he can make a big shot here. He's going to the lane, and a forceful block there by Robertson, and that's what they acquired him for, is to get that defense. And then Draymond Green with the easy layup. So 30 seconds, the last chance. Nothing gonna do there with the miss. So 91-87, under 30 seconds. So that will do it. The Pilgrims will defend their house here as they help their chances to get into the postseason. Atlanta's chances slightly weakened. So every game counts, guys. Every game counts here as we reach the home stretch. Now, I love it. I mean, this stuff is competitive. Freaking basketball. So let's look at the box score here. Chris Paul with 19. He took 21 shots in this game. Beasley with 14 off the bench, so he was good. And then we see Butler had 7 field goals converted. John Wall, 1 of 6 from 3. So, 8 of 20 though. So, I mean, you can't really complain. Wendell Carter was 1 rebound shy of a double-double. So, pretty impressive game by the Pilgrims. Let's look at the updated standings here. We got the Seattle Martians, winners of 6 in a row. They're in first place. Alaska coming back here with 3 wins straight. El Paso is the 6th seed. Phoenix will be your 7th seed at 31-29. And then the Denver Summit, 1 game over 500, are your 8 seeds. So they are just ahead of LA, Vancouver, Kansas City, and California. Maybe San Diego and Wisconsin if you want to throw them in. I mean, they're running out of time here with 58 games played. So it's a 70-game season. So most of these teams, they got between 10 and 13 games left to go. Jacksonville moves back into the first. Tampa Bay got on a little bit of a hot streak, so they were starting to come back. Neon and Pittsburgh, that we just saw, they're still up there. Fly Guys moving up. Detroit, however, has lost 3 straight, and then Nashville would be out of the playoff picture right now. So you got BC, Chicago, Boston. Montreal's lost 5 straight, so Montreal's struggling. We'll see them in the next episode, but they got to get this thing back on track. And 3 games out of first place, so keep that in mind. If you're a Montreal fan, don't panic yet. I mean, they're only 3 games behind Jacksonville, so that was a good one, guys. We'll have every team that'll be in the playoff mix will be featured in the next episode, so I hope you guys enjoy it and look forward to seeing that one. So we'll see you guys next Monday, hopefully, and we should be back on track for that, so we'll see you then. Peace.